Hey up cunts! So this is actually the first video I'm making on my new PC, and yes, I'm still sticking to Camtasia Studio 8 because it's the easiest one to pirate without any risk of getting a virus, and fuck subscription services. But anyway, welcome to another list that only like 10 people are gonna watch. I'm a bit late to this one, in fact I'm very fucking late. This is April as of recording this. But basically, I'm doing the same thing as I did last year and making a top 5 games of the year list, but because I generally can't stand modern games, this is actually a top 5 games I played last year list. Of course, that's less clickbaity and I just like to be a dick, so, you know, I'm keeping it as that. Anyway, let's start the fucking list. I was a pretty big fan of the Crash Bandicoot franchise. I was looking forward to this one. So much so that I actually replayed the entire franchise in anticipation. Unfortunately, this blackpilled me on the PS2 generation of Crash games, since they were pretty much all mediocre to Naughty Dog shit. It really is no wonder why the franchise disappeared for an entire console generation. Thank God for Crash 4. After a couple of decent remakes of the old Naughty Dog games, we finally get a solid follow-up that lives up to the originals with a huge adventure spanning multiple varied and interesting dimensions. The sheer depth of what's going on in some of these levels is cool. I especially like the prehistoric and chink dimensions. The multiple different playable characters feel different enough from each other, but not to the point of being like most other 3D platformers where it feels like an inconsistent clusterfuck in terms of funness, if that even makes sense. It's not like Sonic Adventure 2 where you play one of the really fun Sonic levels and then have to play a shitty Tails level, for example. Oh, and I love how unapologetically hard this game is. It takes no prisoners and slays the invaders without remorse. In general, I love hard games, they're so satisfying to take down. Of course, we have to address the elephant in the room here. They completely fucked up the 100% requirements. Part of what made the original trilogy so fun and replayable was going back for 100%. But in this, it just has you play the same long-ass levels over and over with different wacky filters, so fuck that. Also, Torna's redesign is fucking awful. God. Aside from that though, it's a solid game. Too bad it flopped and Crash is gonna be stuck in shit mobile game purgatory for another generation. So last year I decided to get into the Mario Kart series because before that, I pretty much only played the games for about half an hour at parties. I was a CTR kid after all, and while I still am a CTR fanboy, I had tons of fun playing through most of the games. Special honourable mentions go to Double Dash and DS, but the king of them all is Mario Kart Wii. To me, Mario Kart Wii just has the best of almost everything. It easily has the best character roster of the series, with all the mainstays you'd want, alongside some oddball choices like Funky Kong. It has the best lineup of tracks in the series, with tracks like Coconut Mall and Maple Tree Way, and it just feels the best to play. Sure, it doesn't have snaking, but inward drifting bikes are so fun that it doesn't even matter. God only knows why they got rid of wheelies in future games. The only problems I have with the game are the dreadful item RNG and CPU rubber banding. There's a reason why people are still playing Mario Kart Wii to this very day, and that's because unlike Mario Kart 8, Wii is actually really fucking good. To be honest, I don't really have much to say about this entry. It's fucking Devil May Cry 3. I played this at the beginning of the year, so I can't remember the game too well, but I feel like DMC3 just speaks for itself, you know. It improves the combat of the first game with weapon switching. Yeah, I know DMC2 technically introduced that, but that game sucks balls and has no combo potential, so who cares? It has that awesome PS2 gothic horror feel to it, badass boss fights, a fun story. Dante and Virgil are fucking cool, and it's bore-bustingly hard, even in the special version. Just like DMC1, it's so satisfying to overcome these massive assholes that have been kicking your ass for half an hour. I will admit that a lot of the devil arms just didn't gel with me, so for most of the game I mostly just stuck to Rebellion and Cerberus, but I had fun experimenting and dabbling a bit with the other arms, especially Neven. I was shit at it, but it was fun to fuck around with. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add, so let's just move on. Hey you motherfucking faggots! I played a fuck ton of Mega Man games last year, ranging from the classics to the ZX series. I even replayed all the X games, which got me hooked on this Mega Man bender in the first place. Some really good ones that could have made the list are Mega Man 7 and Mega Man 03, but the best for me was Mega Man 9. You know, it recently came out that Capcom cancelled Mega Man ZX3 in favour of this. A bunch of ZX fans were pissed, but I can't even pretend to care. To me, Mega Man 9 feels like peak platforming, and what I mean by that is that the game strips you just down to your bare minimum jumping and shooting, and designs incredibly fun and challenging stages based purely around such a small moveset. Mega Man 9 is brutally hard, and if you were some shitty third-rate game reviewer with an up-his-ass attitude, you might even call it the worst Mega Man game. But in reality, the level design still feels fair, and all of the quote-unquote cheap moments are deliberate troll moves to fuck with you. Mega Man 9 far surpasses the original NES games by having actually balanced weapons. I'd argue the best lineup of weapons in the entire franchise, and just the fact that it's consistently fun throughout, unlike 3 for example, which is just shit after you beat the Robot Masters. Oh yeah, and the music kicks ass too. Before we get to number 1, let's just do some honourable mentions. I won't be showing games from the same franchises as other entries in the list, because, you know, one per franchise and all that bullshit, so yeah. Oh man, I fucking love this game. If you saw last year's list where, spoiler alert, Resident Evil Remake was number 1, you'd know that I've been getting into Resident Evil over the past couple of years, and in summer of last year I finally got through the snooze fest that was Resident Evil 0, and I'm so glad that I did, because then I was able to play Resident fucking Evil 4. I played the Wii version, and I have to say the aiming controls were perfect. Holy shit, it feels so good. The combat mechanics are so fun, whether it be shooting a zombie in the knee and then suplexing it. Yes, I know they're not actually zombies and they're called Ganados, but I'm just saying it for simplicity. Roundhousing a zombie and then swiping at it with the knife, blowing away a herd of zombies with a shotgun, or getting a headshot with a sniper rifle and making a zombie's head explode. This game is just so charming and full of personality too, with the campy story full of fun characters, the iconic merchant, all the set pieces, and all the little Easter eggs like Ashley calling you a pervert. How about the adaptive difficulty, which alters the amount of Ganados that come for you, as well as determining the item drops that you get based on how well you're doing. Every copy of Resident Evil 4 is personalised. Can't forget about all the bonus modes like Separate Ways and that other Ada mode, and the iconic Mercenaries mode. Hunk especially is fun to play as. For fuck's sake, even managing your inventory is fun. But even with all that, it's honestly still not my favourite Resident Evil game. That's still the remake of the first game. That's mainly because I prefer the atmosphere and the survival horror style, but there's some tiny issues I had with RE4. I feel like the game goes downhill over time. The village is perfect, the castle is great, and then the rest of it is just not as good, aside from the regenerators. There's also Ashley, who's not as annoying as I thought she would be, but there's still some moments where she's annoying. Good thing she's hot. I guess I'd also prefer to be able to move and shoot at the same time, since you're kind of a sitting duck when you're attacking in this fast-paced action game. Resident Evil 4 often gets shat on for moving the focus of Resident Evil to action, rather than survival horror. But honestly, I think something like this is exactly what the franchise needed at the time, because the old formula was getting dull. Like I said, Zero was a snooze fest and Code Veronica is a fucking mess. And thankfully the franchise ended up going back to its horror roots with the Revelation series in 7, so all's well that ends well. Hey everyone, this is completely unscripted here, you can probably tell that just by listening to my voice here, but thanks for watching the video. If you got this far, then yeah, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the list. Pretty late to doing it, it's nearly May? It's nearly May as I record this, but whatever. Very lazy video. I've just been completely lazy on this. To be fair, I have had a few setbacks, such as being stuck with a shitty laptop that's not worth making videos on. But now I'm on PC, so yeah. That doesn't mean my upload schedule's gonna get more busy, because it's not. I am a very fucking lazy person. I'll fully admit that. I keep on saying I'm gonna do things when then I don't actually do them, so yeah. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell button. Whoa, yeah. Nah, just try to do all that thing that the algorithm likes, you know, like commenting and shit and sharing my video around, because I mean, YouTube doesn't like small independent channels like this that, you know, fucking F and Jeff every 5 seconds because, oh, demonetization, you know, like all those fucking shitty YouTubers. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm just kind of rambling on to fill up the time. So yeah, don't forget to wash your foreskin and eat your vegetables.